Here in Swaziland, life is quite different from ours. I asked some of the women who weave for Gone Rural how they live their daily life. Their first task of the day was to take a wheelbarrow down to the river to collect water for drinking and cooking. It is not uncommon for it to take at least 30 minutes each way. This is also where they would be doing their laundry. As you can imagine, without electricity or running water, everything takes much longer and is more taxing. But they work very hard and they appear to be full of grace and at peace. Today, I travel up the T Road to the Mazimba Mountain to visit the Lambgani group for Trading Day. This happens once a month. The women are meeting in their recently built community center, built with funds donated by an outside individual. In years past, they would simply meet under a tree or by a rock.
We saw that there was a need really to provide a shelter for them so that they can be housed here, they can bring their children, they can access health services through other NGOs. So we provide material, but they organize themselves and do the building themselves. So this is an example of a community building by the women, but for the community.
Women are gathered inside and outside of the community center, bringing their finished products and bundles of raw grasses called latinzi, which they collect up in the hills.
So do you pick the grass or do you cut the grass?
No, I'm not cutting. This head.
Like this?
Yes, like this. Like this. You hold it like this.
Is it hard?
No,
it's not hard.
Not hard.
Not
Not
hard.
hard. But yeah.
They are quite organized and take their finished products to be inspected by the quality control team. These women look very carefully to ensure that the products are uniform, strong, and made to the proper specification. If something is made poorly, they are asked to fix it right then and there and come through the line again. Once all items are inspected and approved, they are given a receipt. Then they wait in line to be paid and then given new patterns for their next order. The women then gather outside to have their bundles of grasses weighed, as each bundle must be of a certain weight. They are then given a receipt for the number of bundles they have gathered. Then the receipts are collected in exchange for newly dyed grasses to make their next batch of products based on the pattern they have received. Like most mothers, their focus is on their children's lives and to make them better. Women who work for Gone Rural receive assistance with school fees for their children. Our nonprofit, Red Rover Ventures and Red Rover Fair Trade, is bringing a $10,000 donation today to help with girls' education for the upcoming 2015 school year. As the women set off for home that day, with the grasses tied to their heads or backs, it dawns on me that their day is far from over, as they still have a long walk home and daily chores to finish. It is a joyful morning for these women, visiting with friends and catching up. It is a true community center. We are going to visit Swangili, a Gone Rural artisan for over 15 years. She is the head of their Tuesday group and makes the 1-hour walk down to the Gone Rural office several times a week. Finding our way to her home is quite challenging, as the roads are unmarked and not often used for driving. But the locals all seem to know the way.
As a mom, you have hopes and dreams for your children.
Yes.
What are your hopes and dreams for your children?
Yeah, you say they didn't have nice house, one house, and I told today like sometimes also I need a small car and go and do my own business.
Yeah, I love it. Entrepreneurial at heart.
Yeah, do my small business, going up and down,
And have a nice house.
Yeah,
And for your children.
and for my children.
I asked several of our artisans if they were having problems with their vision, and several of them shook their head yes. In the future, Red Rover Ventures and Red Rover Fair Trade will assist in providing eye care services.
The problem is the eyes, because if you look to the thing, a lot of time, sometimes it's shaking.
It gets blurry.
Yes.
At first, it's difficult to see past the impoverished conditions in which they live. Swangili welcomes us to her home and introduces us to her family. After speaking with Swangili about her daily life and her work with Gone Rural, the family really warms up. Swangili's father is an elected elder of the community. He was elected by his peers because of his knowledge and leadership qualities. He will hold this important position for the duration of his life. He wears a traditional outfit and is carrying a trombone, which seems rather odd to me until she tells me that it is how he calls a meeting with the entire community to share information from the King Swaziland. Swangili's mother works for Gone Rural as well. After working for the day, she changes into her church clothes and dances and sings a hymn for us. When we have completed our filming, I was blessed with wonderful stories that Swangili and her family shared with me about their culture, and it was an amazing day. Swangili's family is very grateful for all that they have: family, peace, and love. They are deeply spiritual and filled with joy.